Hello, and welcome to RU Tonight. My name is Trenton Hoots, and for this week's news stories, we're going to be covering the RU softball team, RU's Generation Action chapter, a current senior student's experience student teaching during the pandemic, and an interview with a first-year nursing student graduate experience. For our first story, junior reporter Mari McGee talks to a player on the RU softball team to find out more about their season.
Thanks, Trenton. I spoke with Cameron Williams, a junior on the Roosevelt softball team, to discuss how their season has been going and what fans can expect to see from them.
The season has been pretty good. We've been winning a lot of games, if you guys have been keeping up. We did sadly get affected by COVID in our first tournament. I think that was early February, so we were shut down for a while, but we are back at it, and we have been having a winning season so far. So for what we can look forward to from the team, people can look forward to seeing us probably having the best season in Roosevelt history for softball. I think we're going to do very well in conference based off of the games played so far and make it pretty far in the championship tournament.
Up next, reporter Harrison Silling speaks with a recent nursing grad about her first year on the job.
Thanks, Trenton. Today I sat down with Ava Egger, recent graduate of the Robert Morris University nursing program, to talk about what it's like working in a hospital as her first job during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I got hired last year after graduating college in the middle of a pandemic. I got hired on a pre-post surgical floor. However, my floor was transitioned into COVID positive patients only. We would worry about transitioning the disease, catching it, giving it to someone else that we care about, and I think that was really hard, and it was a really tough balance, I think, not only just learning how to be a nurse and how to figure out the flow of the floor, but on top of trying to care for the patient and being their only physical support system there, because they weren't allowed any visitors, their family members couldn't be there. And I think it was really hard for the patients and for the staff as well.
Our next story comes from junior reporter Mari McGee, where she spoke with the president of Roosevelt's General Action chapter.
I spoke with Shayla Maria Kala, a 22-year-old senior who is president and co-founder of the Generation Action chapter at Roosevelt, who tells us more about the organization.
So Generation Action is a nationwide network of young activists and organizers who focus on reproductive health justice and connect it to issues such as civil rights, immigration, the environment, and identity politics. Roosevelt's Gen Action chapter was founded in January of 2020, right before the coronavirus pandemic. My friend Andrea and I wanted to create a Generation Action chapter because we realized that our peers had such great ideas when it came to what policies should be in place to create a more equitable society. And we think that Gen Action really does give us those resources to take those ideas and make them into a reality. The part about being a member of Generation Action at Roosevelt is that I am learning how to be a better leader. I am able to work with my friends and have fun and make a greater change at the university and make sure that all of our rights are being fought for, making sure that we're getting the health care that we need.
Up next, Mari McGee speaks with a student teacher on their experiences with education during the pandemic.
Currently, I am student teaching at Bronzeville Scholastic Institute. I am teaching 5 classes, 5 English classes. So I teach 1 class of sophomores, 2 classes of juniors, and 2 classes of seniors. The biggest challenge I face during student teaching probably is, weighing my expectations versus reality. When I was picturing what student teaching would be like, it certainly wasn't virtual, first of all, but, it's been very different kind of seeing what realistically can you do in a class period when all your students are virtual. What's the workload that's appropriate to give them? What, how much homework are you assigning? I don't want them to be on the computer for hours and hours after having to, sit and look at their computer screen for 7 hours a day. So
that's it for this week's newscast. Once again, my name is Trenton Hoots. My colleagues and I would like to thank you for tuning in to RU Tonight. Have a great evening.